had to plug my shit up, man. The fucking battery died. But where I left off at, yeah. What's see, and that's another thing that's dealing with electricity and shit. I just got attacked. The video got cut off when I was in the middle of a very important message I was trying to give to you about me losing my wings, gaining them back, building the army, and obtaining what I need to be obtaining. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? They still not worried. But right now, this is the little process I'm going through to bring you up out of this shit. Like I said, you can live in this world, but we're not of this world. The material on this world is not from this world. The only material that can say it's home to Earth, Tara, Gaia is trees, grass, earth. Earth is the only earth and things that come out of earth is the only thing that can say it's home. But its origins is not from here. Just like Earth itself origins is not from this solar system. This solar system origins is not from this Milky Way galaxy. This Milky Way galaxy origins is not from this universe. This universe origins is not from this Omniverse. The Omniverse origins is not from the. It goes on and on. Everything gets bits and pieces from other things, and the more it appears, is the more it can manifest here into other things, and the more that is not apparent is the more that we can only do. Like it's a near objection. Just like, okay, the sun represents this your vitality, things you can see, light. You see light, so things that you shed light on is you're using your sun inside you. Like things you choose not to shed light on is things you're not using your sun on, and things you might be putting Saturn, you might be shedding your Saturn chakra, your Saturn planetary alignment within you on, because you're blocking it out because it's something you feel like it's not necessary to shed light on. So it's in the dark, you know what I'm saying, and you're not bringing light to the situation. So that's what the sun does. So look at it like the collective consciousness is looking at things like there's a higher being. So in the sun, the way the sun is placed, there's a higher being than the sun. And we can get into science to that. It's the Sirius sun. You have the Orion sun and you have the Sirius sun. And this is what the sun see itself. If you was the sun would be like, I know it's a higher self. And the sun can see it. So your sun sign is what's going to filter you. Like all your planetary alignments is filtered through your sun sign. So whatever your sun sign is, that's what everything else is going to be filtered through. My sun was in Aries when I was manifested here on Earth. So all my moon sign, my rising, my Mercury, my Jupiter, all that is filtered through Aries. So look, I'm in Antares moon. Only reason I have filters of other shit like outside looking in and other energy and beings is because that actual star, that actual fixed star is actually larger than the sun. So a lot of times my mind can take over what I'm consciously aware of. So that plays out in my life. I might live in my head a lot of times to people. People might see me as a person who live in my head. Like when I have a dream and I'm dreaming of a house. Okay, look, anytime a house is in your dream, the house is a representation of you. It could be a lot of houses in your dream, but at the house you're focused on. If you're looking at a house from the outside, you're concerned about your appearance to others, how you look to others. If you're inside a house, you're inside yourself. You're dealing with how you see yourself inside. If there's rooms you don't want to go in, that's like inside you, places you don't want to go to, places you're not trying to accept, emotions you're trying to deflect and you're not trying to go in and deal with. You know what I'm saying? Like dream, I'm gonna get into another video about dreams, but look, this is how the shit play out. How I live in my head to people, it plays out even in my dreams. In my dreams, when I'm inside a house, All my motherfucking rooms is upstairs. Nigga, I could go in the house and the first thing I do is go upstairs, and that's where my living room at, my dining room, everything. Nigga, I live in my head. Nigga, upstairs, like, nigga, I go to the, I'm always finna go out the window, go on the roof, and be like, oh shit, don't fall off the roof, just chill on the roof for a second. Then go back in the house. I'm always upstairs. You know what I'm saying? That's a representation. I go on the roof, I start hearing things that other people don't hear. Like, I'm starting to hear conversations of neighbors and shit like that. That means I'm receiving information that other people are not receiving. And when you're on the roof in your house, the roof in your house represents that you're on top of things, but don't jump too out the box though, because if you fall off the roof, that's a representation of you're too out there, you're losing yourself into unnecessary places and you don't have control, and you might be liable of getting took over. So if you fell off that roof in your dream, you got pushed and took over by another entity. That means you didn't have no control, because if you had actual control in your dream when you was on the roof, you know not to fall off the roof. So that means you're getting out of control and you're jumping into realms that you're unsure of, and you getting took over by other beings. But if you're on the roof and you're constantly aware of, no, don't fall on the roof, don't fall off the roof, just sit here and listen and shit like that. That's me. Like, you know what I'm saying? I never fell off the roof. And I go back into my house through the window. I'm always up, all my rooms is upstairs. I live in my head. So it plays out like that though, because my moon sign is, I'm in Antares moon. I land on the Pacific degree of Antares. My moon sign which is 8.55 degrees Sagittarius. The fixed star in 8 through 9 degrees Sagittarius is Antares. So if any of your planets land on 8 through 9 degrees, only 8, 9 degrees, not no 7, not no 10. You can only be 1 through 2 of it, like the 2 of it. You only in between. You know what I'm saying? You can have influence of it if you were 7 degrees or 10 degrees. You can have influence of Antares, but it'll be like how we look at the 3 planets. It'll be like it's there, but it's not there. So it'll be like, okay, you're aware of this shit, but you don't have a grip of it. So you know you different, but you don't have a grip of being different. If you land on the Pacific degrees, you got a grip on this shit. And whether you're into this shit or not, like I could grow up my whole life without ever knowing about astrology or fixed stars. But I lived my whole life having a grip on knowing what the fuck I'm talking about. So it led me to here anyway, regardless. But I always had a grip on how I felt. You know what I'm saying? That's that, because I'm gripped in the degree. So I am the degree. I'm not just carrying the influence of it, I am the influence of it. You know what I'm saying? So that's how the shit works. And since we're not of the influence of the 3 lost days, which is the U-Day, New Day, and Planet Day, we don't have the grip of it. But I have the grip of it. That's what I'm teaching you today. You know what I'm saying? And it's the motherfucking every day has its planetary energy. So Sunday, you're supposed to use your vitality, your sun sign, to the best nature quality of it. So if you're acting in the most negative quality of your sun sign on a Sunday, you're going to get the most negative results. This is why, and this is why I'm not in a religion program, but there's a good and bad in everything. Everything comes from the one source. It's just lower pyramids of it. So you might be trapped up under a lot of programs and paradigms up under a system. But the system itself still comes from the one source. So you're still not that far off. You're just illusionized. You know what I'm saying? By television, telling lies to your vision and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? And I got that. Shouts out to 13 Cosmic Law of Astrology. That's my soul group right there. I don't have to watch his videos to know what he's talking about. I could watch one of his videos and we're already on the same page. I am the only God here. He is who he is, I am who I am. But in the source, we're one. You know what I'm saying? So whether you're watching his videos, whether you're watching my videos, whether you're watching countless of other people's videos who kicking the same knowledge we are, it's one. You're watching one person. You know what I'm saying? I need you to know that. It's not even a person, but you're watching one thing. one being. This is one being. And we're lower pyramids of that one being. And we're just giving you our perspective of that one being. So he might say something that you might, that a group of people might, like 13 cosmic law astrology, Dark Lord L'Akilio Stein. He might be talking about shit that another person could get a little faster than watching my videos, and I might be kicking some shit that another person can get a little faster than watching his videos, but they're both getting the same knowledge, just in the best way that they can. Now, back to like Sunday. Sunday, you're supposed to use your sun sign the best way you possibly can. Now, back to the religion program, why I was saying it's good or bad. This is why it's good when everybody go to church. Everybody choose to not do much bad on Sunday, like naturally. You know what I'm saying? Naturally, everybody is using their sun sign to the best capability of their nature. You know what I'm saying? To the best capability of their nature on a Sunday. So, like Sunday Aries, for me, my sun sign was in Aries. I don't claim it in terms of conditions, but I'm talking about for the manifestations of the illusions that's on Earth. Just the benefit for you guys. Aries, I would work in the best nature of Aries, which is being a leader and a team player, not causing discord, but being an initiator at the same time. So coming up with a good way to lead, coming up with a good way to initiate, relaxing my energies to the point that using my energy into ways that it can be let out, not negativity. Because if I sit here and just sit on all this Aryan energy without using it towards something, I'm going to end up using that energy towards pointless things, which leads down to negative energies. You know what I'm saying? Which really, Aries' role on Earth is to turn negative energy into positive, because it's a positive sign. So, with that being said, is where there are negativity at, is the Aries' job to go in there and make it positive. So, this is why Aries seem to be angry or something like that, or seem to go head in first before thinking. It's because if we slap somebody, it's like out of energy or something like that. Like, it's because you might come across an Aries who's not using his energy to the maximum ability it's supposed to be. But naturally, if an Aries get into a lot of fight, it's supposed to be for the greater good. Like, if I go smack somebody, 9 times out of 10, I want to smack somebody who went and smacked 10 other people who didn't deserve to be smacked, and they just smacked them just because they felt like they can. So when an Aries comes smack that motherfucker for thinking he bad, you know what I'm saying? We have the force and the energy behind us to achieving that, and to be looked at as we did something good. But to the collective of the world, we'd be looked at if we did something bad. Like, it's science deep into that. You know what I'm saying? But we're like the heroes. We're here to save. If an Aries slaps somebody or have a lot of energy pent up towards somebody to the point they want to do harm, because Aries are not bad people. But if they have an energy within them to feel like they have to do harm to a person, then that person was carrying a negative energy that they did, and their karmic role was to come into a sphere of reality of an Aries and to lead off like that. Now, the situation might take place where the Aries might start it, and to everybody else it might look like the Aries was being negative or something like that. But from a collective consciousness out looking in, that's what was taking place. That person's negative charge needed to get turned back positive, and they needed to get slapped by Aries, and that Aries was the energy that the collective energy was filtered through to turn that negative into a positive as a collective whole. Like the shit, I'm gonna get into another video of collective energies, the collective polarity, the collective yin and yang, the collective, because we all have a yin and yang in us, a positive and negative, a feminine and masculine in us. But when it gets filtered through certain shit, this is why it appears this way. When the sun manifests a human being on Earth, the yin and yang gets manifested in a male or female. When the Mercury gets yin and yang gets manifested down here. It gets manifested in a yin and yang principle within inside your intellect. When the Jupiter, your wisdom, the yin and yang, it's like this deep. We're all yin and yang. So if all your planetary signs is in masculine signs, there's a yin and yang within all them masculine signs. So you still have yin and yang in you. It's just what you're showing outwardly maybe more towards the yang than the yin. You know what I'm saying? But as physically, as the sun manifests you, as when the sun and the earth energies, which earth is the energy of tangible manifestation of physical things. So when the earth and the sun relationship came in between for you to either be human and tangible, the yin and yang factor filter out as male or female, as you have a dick or pussy. You know what I'm saying? And it does that with everything. Then when the sun gets filtered through the moon manifestations, that's your moon sign. You're gonna have a yin and yang within the moon. When the sun gets, the sun is the main filter down here. You know what I'm saying? Basically, all your signs get filtered through the sun. So even though, like I was talking about, I'm in Anatares moon, it's bigger than the sun. So it gets manifested in me a lot of times. I might use my mind a lot more than my sun. So I might appear more of my moon sign than my sun sign. But it's filtered when I start to do my actions and shit like that, it's filtered through the sun. So anything, if I live in my head, it's gonna show outwardly through my actions. So that's why people can see I live through my head anyway, because that's my actions anyway, still filtered through the sun. So the kind of Aries I am, and I'm a Draco Aries, and then the kind of Aries I am is, when I show my actions, it shows that I live in my head. You know what I'm saying? But I have no choice, because I'm in Antares moon, and that fixed star Antares is huger than the sun. You know what I'm saying? It's bigger than the sun. So I'm an exception. You know what I'm saying? So it's deep, man. Like your rising sign, all that shit. If your rising sign falls on a fixed star that's bigger than the sun, then your personality is going to appear huger than your actions. So when it gets filtered through your sun regardless, and the way people are going to see you, the light you shedding off, which is your sun sign, people are going to see is, this nigga personality, what the fuck is wrong with his personality? You know what I'm saying? Now, people's sun sign land on a Pacific, if a person's sun sign lands on a fixed star that's bigger than the sun, then when it's filtered through your sun, you're gonna the way you act, you're gonna act like you're bigger than you are, basically. You know what I'm saying? Like an example, because I have to know these things. Azealia Banks, the rapper Azealia Banks, her sun sign is my moon sign opposite. So it was going to be natural that she learned about me. Now, her actions is the world I live in. Your moon sign is the most important, because your moon sign is how you see the world. So your moon sign is the illusion. Your moon sign is the world you live in. So when it get filtered through the sun, you're going to act these things out. But the way you feel, the way you emotionally feel inside is your moon sign. So you're going to act it out no matter how people see you. Sometimes you're not going to understand why people see you the way they see you. You're going to live in the world you live in. You're going to be like, this is the way I am. But I don't give a fuck how people see me. This is the truest nature of why your moon sign is your most important sign. Yeah. All the planets is important. I'm just saying that if you really want to know what world you live in, you really need to concentrate on where your moon sign was placed, because your moon is the master of illusion. And if you know anything about the moon and the planetary system of the moon and what the moon represents, you have no choice but to go ahead and look deep. This is why Vedic astrology pays attention to, and sidereal astrology pays attention to the moon more than the sun. Because the sun is just your actions, your vitality. You know what I'm saying? Your Mars is your aggressions and your and how much passion you're going to put behind the actions of the sun. Everything is filtered through the sun. This is what we're doing outwardly. This is what the light is shining on. This is what everybody see. I see you as a person. I'm seeing the only way I can see you with these two eyes is because of the sunlight. With the sunlight bouncing off these eyes. This is the most nature of the sun. So once you get into what the sun represents and the most nature of the sun, you realize the sun ain't the world you live in. The sun is the surroundings of the world you're in, and the manifestations of the illusion from the moon that's getting pushed outwardly. So just like the government, you can see the government any way you choose to see the government, but the way you feel about it is going to be a whole different world. The way you feel about it is your moon sign. The world you live in, the way you feel, your emotional connection. When you learn about the moon, you know the moon is water. So if your moon was placed in fire, a fire sign, the watery nature of the moon is going to play out in fiery nature, what's going to get played out through what we see, which is the sunlight, which is the sun sign. You feel me? Like, this shit is deep, but it ain't. It's a polarity to deep. What's deep is not deep. What's not deep is deep. So whatever frequency you choose to live on, that's on you. But the shit is there. The vibrations is there. You know what I'm saying? The vibe, and all this ties in back to why every day you're supposed to live in the nature of the day you live in. Monday is the moon day. Live in the nature of your moon sign. Tuesday, Mars. Live in the nature of your Mars sign. Wednesday, live in the nature of your Mercury sign. Thursday, live in the nature of this is why, look, Friday, live in the nature of your Venus sign. Thursday is Jupiter. Venus, Friday, live in the nature of your love on Friday. Why you think TGIG or whatever the fuck they got, think TGIF, whatever, thank God it's Friday. People love Friday. I can't wait till it's Friday. People, even at work, even if you gotta work on Friday, people thank you, it's Friday. People love Friday. Why you think people love Friday? Friday is fucking Venus Day, nigga. What Venus represents? Love. This shit, man, like, it's like, when I be kicking this shit, I kick at it like it's nothing new. I kick it like this ain't even something you gotta learn. And then I start getting frustrated and get upset because of all this energy I have, this fire energy I have. I get upset that because at the same time, it's like, damn, I'm actually sitting here teaching this shit. I actually gotta teach this shit. I actually can't have a conversation with one of my niggas about this. Like, I feel like this shit is common. This shit should be common knowledge. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, and the only reason I feel like that's because the world I live in. You know, like I said, I'm in the Anatares moon, so, you know what I'm saying, I'm an exception. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time,